Hello, everyone. It is Self-Care Sunday, Self-Care Edition. How are you? And you, but especially you. Yes, you over there. I see you over there in the top corner. How are you tonight? How are you on this 12th day of April 2026? Still weird to say 2026. I don't know why I'm still having a weird thing with that, but sometimes it's just weird. 4 months in, I'm still, sometimes it's just, like, really? I don't know. What do I know? Let me get my screens going here. Boom, boom, boom. And uh and let's see if I get everything going here. And boom. There we go. Hang on. One click here, one more click, and then I should be up. Hey, Carrie, how are you? How are things in Florida? What an exciting, the whole Space Coast has got to be pretty excited right now, with the launch and the successful return of the Artemis mission. I know it was big last week when they launched, but still, the watching that landing was still pretty amazing. That return to Earth, it just is. I don't know. It doesn't get old, I've been to the Kennedy Space Center and the Johnson Space Center, and it just our mind for what's out there is just that whole world that's out there, and everything that we see and don't know is just an amazing thing. So, I mean, but that's part of why we do everything we do. It's the unknown, it's the unseen, it's what unique item's gonna walk through that door. I mean, that's a Pawn Star saying, you never know what's gonna walk through that door, but it's just as true in all facets of resale. The what walks through that door is pretty freaking amazing, and you can't underestimate that. Is always the return was amazing, and then last night on TV was Apollo 13. I was flipping channels as we were laying down to bed last night, and there came Apollo 13 was on there, and their finest moment. So it's just that whole exploration is neat, but you know, uh, it's just a neat thing. There's still so few people that have been into outer space and the depths of things. So I think of you, especially, having been at your store when there was a launch, and see everything shake and everything else. Not as a significant a launch, but I think every launch that they do is significant. So it's sort of interesting to see how the world glued to this launch. 4 hours it was backed up. That's crazy traffic. That is crazy, Carrie. That is absolutely crazy to have traffic backed up there for 4 hours. But there's not a lot of roads around. Just the whole path is pretty freaking amazing. I mean, and you're right there. I remember sitting, right by the water and everything else, and just taking it all in. It's pretty freaking amazing, and hopefully that's been good having all those people in town. Yes, the back way home. That's the thing Waze won't tell you, I mean, it's good that you know it, and it is amazing what it does. So I digress. So let's get started tonight. Let me flip over our calendar and find tonight's opening quote. Well, there you go. Uh, our opening quote, it fits right in line with that. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadows. Keep your face to the sunshine and you won't see the shadows. That is a quote from Helen Keller. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Jessica. How are you? Uh, Yeah, I can imagine with finding parking, people looking to park and camp out for it. We've seen that with different events in town and stuff. I've definitely seen that before. Uh, so I thought we'd talk tonight briefly. I'm working on a whole new lesson on it, but I thought we'd talk a little bit about ThreadUp's 2026 resale report that came out this week. um, because there's some interesting stuff in it. I always, the math that they come up with to say what the market's going to be 5 years from now, 4 years from now. I always find interesting because if you go back on their old reports, their numbers weren't so accurate on that, both undershooting and overshooting depending on the year. So, they're currently saying it's all going to be almost $400 billion by 2030. The real interesting part is that it is growing. I mean, it continues to grow faster than the overall apparel market. That resale continues to grow faster. Now, we need a healthy overall apparel market, or you won't have things to resell, or good quality things to resell. That does is important. But secondhand now represents roughly 10% of all global apparel sales. 10%, 1 in 10 of all global apparel sales is resale, which is really good. Um, they're predicting that US growth will be about 7.3% average annual growth, and about 10% annual growth online. Uh, about 4 times faster than the broader retail market. And, 64% of new spend in resale comes from new shoppers. Uh, and 27% of shoppers plan to increase secondhand purchases to offset price increases in other parts of the economy. Um, and Gen Z and millennials are totally driving this. Um, you know, More than 2/3 of all growth is coming from Gen Z and millennials in resale. But digging into a couple of key metrics, okay, by order volume on ThreadUp. So if you do clothing, this is pretty interesting. And you could say, well, ThreadUp is beneath me and everything else, but that they don't carry good things and everything else. Everybody's got an opinion of different things with resale, but the one thing they do well is they do take care of things in most cases after the sale if it doesn't meet your standards when you receive it. But the most shopped resale brand by order volume on ThreadUp, any guesses? Any guesses what the most shopped resale brand on ThreadUp was? I mean, you guys deal in clothing all day long. Any thoughts on that? Or most of you do. I have lots of furniture stores here too. Chico's? I have one guess for Chico's from the Peanut Gallery. Not even in the top 10. Not even in the top 10. Shein. No, Shein isn't in the top 10 either, Sherry. Shein is not in the top 10. But that was you never know. I mean, because people, it is so one of the ones that might surprise you that is in the top 10, okay, and just taking a quick glance by my own brand, and I'm not a brand guy. Being full disclosure, I am not a brand guy. I like nicer stuff, but I am not a brand guy. In the top 10 of lower brands, well, there's a couple here, but Old Navy is number four. So I'll give you Old Navy is number four in top order volume on ThreadUp. It is number four. But then Loft, Ann Taylor Loft is number three on the list, Carrie. Number three in most shop brands. Lululemon, all the way at number nine, Sherry. All the way down at number nine, down there on the list. Okay, numero uno on the list of most shopped resale brands is J. Crew. Okay. J. Crew is the number one brand by order volume. But biggest growth, year over year growth, fastest order growth is tied between Zara and Lulu. Okay, so just keeping that perspective there on where things are falling. It is a very interesting list. And again, I'm going to go into this in more depth in a new lesson that's coming out and going to be dropping soon because there's some really great data there. Calvin Klein, not even on the list in the top 10. And but there are a couple notable things. Okay, highest revenue per item, okay, is Veronica Beard. Okay, it is the highest revenue per item. And brands that are having a moment. Okay, so brands that are having a moment in resale. Again, all of this is according to ThreadUp. I've just broken it out a little differently to help you plan your store. Is Lands' End and J. Jill, which both saw in resale over 30% year over year growth. Okay. And Anthropologie nowhere on the ThreadUp list. Okay, on these lists of in the top performers. So some of these value things, some of these good quality. I mean, J. Jill and Lands' End historically had, as an example, good quality. It certainly faltered some in depending on who owned them especially Lands' End at a given time. J. Jill is certainly trying to have a moment of resurrection. I worked with J. Jill as a client a long time ago when they were much smaller. But I had them as a client, as one of my traditional retail consulting clients. But it is very interesting. It is very interesting where these are going, and there's so much more data. Yeah, and J. Jill is a good. I mean, it really isn't a bad brand. They've really done a number the last few years. The CEO's really been working on turning it around, which I'm happy for. I mean, I remember it back in the day. Um, from my own work with them. So it is pretty interesting how that flows. Um, you know, 46% of resale discovery, how people find their way to resale, ends out with one of the biggest metrics is in-person browsing. Um, which is really interesting. That for all, and Gen Z and what is really back to the mall and really back to shopping in person. There's a lot of other stats on that aren't part of this. Uh, 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 and big retailers realize that not scaling, not doing something in the resale market, it risks losing Gen Z and millennial market share. And that is good both ways, but most of the traditional retailers that have a resale component, excuse me, are doing it to placate shareholders and for sustainability efforts, to hit their sustainability targets of what they've promised shareholders. Has nothing to do with really making it a profitable resale business. Uh, and a couple of other things in the ThreadUp report that they say resellers are looking for. They're looking for faster payouts. Uh, if they could get their payouts faster, and making the process easy, even if the payout was lower. So speed is really a key with that generation. So, one of your homework will be to look at your brands. I'm going to do, again, I have a whole lesson on this that I'm putting together that will talk all about it. It'll detail out the top 10 brands, the ones that are the comeback brands and are really making progress and why they're making progress. And it'll say, don't completely be aware of the premium brands, even if you aren't in a premium market. Okay, because you need to know what's coming through, because people will come through because they like the know, like, trust factor of your stores. But, as Gen Z's buying power continues to increase, they are really into resale. They are into it. So keep that in mind as you're looking at inventory. So I just hit my screen wrong. So it is some really interesting trends there. And again, I'll have that in a new lesson that I am working on for you. And we got a lot of new things coming. I'm hoping to have a bunch for you to talk about this week. So I'm excited this week. We've got a lot going on. Wednesday show should be, I've got some great stuff for Wednesday. You do not want to miss Wednesday night. Catch it live, catch the replay, but there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff I'm expecting on Wednesday, which will be really great. You know what else is really great? This video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store. You can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell, ring it so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with everybody you know in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody run a better business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, but if you have a question in between, just DM me. I'm easy to find. Just click up there, find me, and send me a message. Happy to hop on a conversation with you. We start the program every night with our opening quote. Our opening quote tonight was, "Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadows." Our closing quote tonight is, "No one should have crossed the ocean. No one would have crossed the ocean if he could have gotten off the ship in the storm." Ooh, think about that one for a second. No one would have crossed the ocean if he could have gotten off the ship in the storm. Ride that storm, people. Ride that storm. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah. We continue to rock this party. Don't miss the Wednesday night party. I'll see you here at More 8 Than Ish. Make it a great week, everyone. You're not alone running this store. Have a great one.